it's all about who's in front of you. When you focus on other teams, instead of, taking care of your food, I mean, it happens like that. So, for us, we've always focused on us and then focused on Portland, focused on Houston, and control what we can control as a team. And now our focus is on Denver. So
the fact that this is the same gap as between round 1 and round 2 for you guys, does that do anything for you, getting your body in a rhythm and sort of having that rest advantage going in? Do you think that makes a difference?
I'm not really sure, because both times we've had that, we've kind of just lost game 1. So, obviously you get a little bit more rest and more time to prepare for the team. So those are kind of the main benefits. So not many people have an opportunity to really get to these, this far in the playoffs, and you can't take it for granted. Not only this team, I'll always remember my second year in the league and Tyson Chandler being in the locker room and just saying, I played in the league 18 years and I've only been to the finals once, and that's always stuck with me. You don't just live in the moment, and you never know when you'll get back to this plateau and this point in time. So, just take it all in, embrace it, and attack it head on, because you never know if you'll ever get back. So, just salvating in the moment.
BT, as we just discussed, I'm going to start with you. You are there in the bubble. You went to Game 7 last night, Clippers, Denver. You've had a very interesting seat this season as you've covered both Clippers and Lakers. So how would you describe what you saw kind of unfold last night with that game?
Well, first I'll say this. I had the Lakers and Nuggets in the conference finals, guys.
What?
You're lying.
No, that's not
How'd
true.
you know?
I was about to say.
You'd be alone on that.
That's not true. That would be true. You know what was interesting, Allie? When I got to the game, I got there really early, and I sort of watched the Clippers warm up, and you watched the Nuggets warm up as well. I kept thinking the Clippers are really not engaged right now, even doing warm-ups. And from the jump ball on, I always kept thinking to myself, the Clippers are not going to win this game. Wow. I just don't see a confident team. Mike, even when the Clippers took a 12-point lead in the second quarter, they walked to their benches, and no one was excited. No one was high-fiving. No one was chest-bumping. There was nothing there. There was this void, this blank space in their faces, whereas the Nuggets were down. They went to their bench thinking, we still have a chance because we always do against this. And based on that, I just kept thinking, I don't know how the Clippers can get out of this funk they're in. I don't think they can, and they did not. And they lost the series that they really should have won.
And look, a lot of talk about that today was the Clippers not being able to handle pressure. And for the Nuggets, they knew and still feel that there is no pressure on them, even moving into now the finals, Brez, which this has been a consistent conversation when you talk about the Lakers so far in the postseason, rest versus rust. Where do we stand now at this point? As we saw in round 1 and round 2, they dropped game 1, but then they rattle off 4 straight.
Yeah, it's been a very unusual pattern, to say the least. I mean, after the seeding round was done, the Lakers had 5 days before starting the first round. They scored 93 points and lost to Portland. Obviously, they did pretty good in games 2 through 5 in that series. Then they had another 6-day gap before the second round started. They scored only 97 points. Well, that's okay. Games 2 through 5, again, did very well for them. So it's weird. They seem more rested as these series go on. Maybe they're a little too rested in these game 1s. Again, another 6-day gap between the end of the last round and the start of the Western Conference Finals. It's been 10 years since the Lakers have been able to say that. So we will have to see if it's a little more rust in this one. I don't think they want to lose game 1 to this Denver team, though. It's a red-hot team for sure.
BT, and you think about it, too, heading into round 1, they caught a very hot Portland team. Heading into round 2, you catch a hot, confident Houston team coming off of that 7-game series against OKC. Here you are again, catching a hot Denver, very confident team.
Right.
What do you think about the rest versus rust for the Lakers and if it will benefit them?
The one thing that is different this time around, the Lakers get 2 days to prepare for this game. If I recall correctly, when they played Houston, there was 1 day in between games, and then they went in and they tried to get ready for that speed. But here's a situation where the Lakers know if you get to the conference finals, that means you are a damn good basketball team. And Denver, they've come back down from 3-1 against Utah, 3-1 against a very good Clippers team, and now here they are in the conference finals playing against the Lakers. So the rest is something that you need. You don't want much of it, but they have to now be focused to know that you're 4 games away from going to the NBA Finals. They've got to be locked in, and I think they will be.
That's a great point. The 2 days of preparation they did not have heading into that Houston series that you certainly would expect to help and benefit the Lakers. How about this news coming today from the league? They announced its all-NBA team on Wednesday, and the Lakers were, well represented on the first team. LeBron James picking up his league record 16th all-NBA selection. That passes the late, great Kobe Bryant. Giannis, James Harden, Anthony Davis with his 4th all-NBA selection. And then there you have it, Luka Doncic rounding out that group of 5. Here's Kuz on playing alongside 2 all-NBA first-team selections.
Obviously, AD and LeBron played at a certain type of level, first team all NBA level all year, and we helped them get to that point. Being a team award. If we don't do our jobs, and they don't have the success that they have, and granted they've been the rocks and heart and souls of our teams all year, and just super happy for AD and LeBron, and then on top of that, us playing against Denver, just controlling what we control, and focus on what we have to do to win every day. Follow the game plan, shoot the ball well, and just don't make that many mistakes. If we can do that, then we can control our own destiny.
So, guys, we will be dissecting this matchup for the next couple of days as we wait for Game 1. Let's dive into your top storylines as it pertains to this series. And, Brez, you want to talk simply about the fact that it's not the matchup everyone else thought it would be.
Except for BT, apparently. He called this 2 months ago. The deal is the Lakers have to get over the shock or the surprise of not playing the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. People have been talking about this for almost a year. Hey, it's going to be those 2 to see who gets to the NBA Finals. It's not happening, guys, and I think the rest of the world is surprised, and the NBA world anyway, and now they have to get ready for a younger, less physical team. Denver's more finesse than the Clippers, and kind of curious to hear what Frank Vogel might say about this. We're going to talk to him later in the show, but he kind of has to talk to his players and say, all right, it's not the Clippers, it's not going to be a battle for LA in Orlando, but we need to readjust quickly and think about this team that keeps surprising people round after round.
First round, it was Dame and CJ. Next round, it was Russ and James. And here we are, another dynamic duo, superstar duo, if you will, in formation for Denver. You're going battle of the superstars, BT.
Yes, I am. We've got AD and LeBron James going against Jokic and Jamal Murray. And you got to think about this. Jokic had a triple-double last night. He's averaging almost 6 assists a game for a center in the NBA. He scores, he rebounds, he takes 3-point shots that seems to take 5 days to go in the basket, but they go in. And then, of course, you have AD and LeBron. They are still the best pair of players in the NBA. There's no one better than those 2 guys are, in my opinion, and most other people's opinions. So to see these 4 players go out there and face each other, I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And there should be some excitement here. But if AD and LeBron James are at the top of their game, I think the Lakers will pull this series out.
BT, bonus question. What takes longer, Jokic to get the ball to the hoop or you setting up your FaceTime camera?
Oh, me.
Appreciate the honesty.
Well played. Pro's pro. Brez, point 2, attack, and not the way I'm attacking BT and his lack of FaceTime setup ability.
You're just speaking the truth, to be frank.
Good times.
Yeah, the deal here is the Lakers really need to keep the same mindset that they had when they were going up against Houston. We're not talking about an undersized team that, the Nuggets they got some 7-footers. They've got some height for sure, but they don't have like a real physical front line. There's not a lot of shot blockers on this team. So they really need to keep attacking the paint. LeBron, so strong, kind of ripping through that Rockets defense. AD, tough down low. I keep going back to that Game 4 where the Lakers had a 62-24 edge in points in the paint. That's not going to happen against Denver, but they need to have that same mindset. Attack. AD took very few threes in that last series. I hope he kind of stays in that mindset, just keeps going to the basket.
Speaking of mindset, leads me into your second point, BT. Denver's the first team to win 6 straight elimination games.
Wow.
It's your second point. Can the Lakers handle it?
They have to be reminded all the time that the Nuggets are a resilient team. They were down 3-1 to Utah, won the series. 3-1 to, as I said again before, a very good Clipper team. You have to get 4 victories. You have to close out not only games, but close out quarters the right way. If you give them any room to breathe, they will run you down and they will win the game and they can win a series. Always remind yourself that you have to play until the buzzer sounds, play the best basketball you can to beat them because they won't beat themselves.
How would you quantify, real quick before we go to break, BT, being there last night, the confidence that Denver is running with right now?
When they got down 20 in previous games, and when they got down 12 the other night, they knew they still were going to win the game. And they did win the game because they understand that they are, in their eyes, a better team than the Clippers. When in fact they really aren't. Well, I guess they are. They wouldn't.
That has got that inside that intel. How do you do it? Are you drinking some red right now?
Please say yes.
No, not just yet, but soon. In the next segment. How about that? Okay,
It's going to be good.
Just kidding.
Hey, BT, when it comes to reporters, you are a Silver Oak 2005. Keep up the good work, my friend.
Ooh, I like it. Send me a bottle, Brazerhand.
Well, I'm not going to go that far, but you're pretty good at what you do.
I'm just glad you responded with the red, and then you followed up as a true professional saying, what are you drinking? Well played.
Question. BT, always on his toes.
The only one to get that knowledge. The Western Conference
That's
Finals.
what winos do.
The Western Conference Finals are set to begin on Friday, and there's no doubt that one of the matchups